Alright, so hey everybody, I'm back working on the Mustang tonight. I got you set up down here. We're in the basement workshop. I haven't been down here for a while. So what I got you set up looking at is my power steering cylinder. And what we're going to do on this thing is we're going to replace all the seals in the end of it. So I have a little seal kit. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so here's the seal kit that I got from National Parts Depot, but it comes with these two sets of the rubber washers or grommets, whatever those are. There's this little steel spacer piece that goes, I think it goes in here. It goes on the end of the shaft anyway. I'm not too worried about that right now. The nut, the two big steel washers, but really the and then this kind of hollow, like a stamped hex retaining nut thing. That's the snap ring, this copper looking washer thing. There's a plastic cup thing and just like a plastic O-ring. It's kind of soft. Those go together. Then there's like a wiper or another seal. It has like a grooved side and a smooth side. Another steel washer that has a groove in it on one side and it's flat on the other. And then another identical seal like this one. Alright, I will show you this too. You do need a pair of snap ring pliers for this job. I got this pair at Lowe's. These are channel lock. And the thing about them is you need a really tiny tip. Now this comes with this little set of replaceable tips. It has three different sizes, an 039, an 047, and an 074. And you either get them to come out straight or you can get the ones that are hooked. I have the hooked 039s in there right now because the snap ring that we're about to take out has really tiny holes in the end of it. So you're going to need that. It makes getting this snap ring out, a simple exercise. And these are reversible. Like right now, you see when I squeeze, the tips come together. If I flip this red switch, it's pretty slick. Now, you see that what happened? They snapped. Now when I squeeze, the tips open up. First thing we need to do is take out, there's a snap ring in there that I've been talking about. So let's get that thing taken out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of the pieces that I take out on a little napkin here. And I'm going to put them on the napkin the way that they come off. But nevertheless, the snap ring has lost the fight. And it is off. The next thing we want to do is remove this scraper, wiper, or whatever this thing is. Get this little screwdriver here. Oops. That piece wants to come out, and all of the kind of like the it's conical and it's pointing up. Next is a rubber seal inside of like this plastic housing, and I'll just show you now too. The piston on the cylinder, this is hard to pull out. It only comes out this far. It doesn't come out all the way. And by pulling that out, you can see I got the rubber seal part to come out. So that's out. Let me try and get a screwdriver in here and pick this thing out. I'm trying, being careful not to scratch the cylinder. Alright, so here's what I've done. I've put a little drywall screw in here. Now, I think it's into that plastic piece. So now I'm just going to try and pull it out with this pliers, and hopefully it takes the plastic out with it. Oh man, that thing is in there. Wow. Well, let's give it a shot before we abandon this completely. See if we can't pull this thing out of here. I gotta have something to pry against. success. It did come out. So you can see it's still stuck on there. And you can see how I just put the screw through. This is really hard compared to the new one. Okay, so now this piston will come right on out. Well, it doesn't come out any more than this, but I mean now I can move it back up and down. And we're at the first of those rubber seals, and the grooves and stuff on it is I don't see, so that's not facing me. So the sort of it's not completely smooth, but the closed side is facing me. I think we might have to do the same kind of a deal where I put the screw in and then pull it out again. See if we can get the punch to punch a little hole in it. And then pry it out with the punch. I'll try the screw again. Seemed to work pretty good the last time. Now it should have a hole in it. Should be a little easier to start the screw. And again, I'm making sure I don't hit either the cylinder, the piston, or the housing, because you don't want to scratch those up. And that worked again. I think if you can see it here pretty good that the screw doesn't contact the cylinder, nor does it come through the outside and contact the housing. So that guy comes off, and you can see what I'm talking about here. Let me hold it like this. This is kind of the flat side of this piece. If I flip it around, that's the side with the big circular groove. That was towards the inside of the piston of the cylinder. Now there's a steel washer in here, and from what I've seen, if I just open up the vise and take the cylinder out, it should just dump out. Of course, nothing is ever like you see on TV. Let me give it a little bit of attention. Give it some love and loosen it up, and then it should come on out of there. Alright, so I figured out how to get this thing out. I worked it around, got that washer to spin around a few times. And once I was convinced that it was loose, I thought I could dump it out. But it wouldn't dump out. But if I gave it a little bit of energy, a little bit of help, and of course it fell out. But all I did was I just took it and I just slammed it on the table like that, and it came out. Okay, so here it is. I picked it up off the floor, and you can see on here this thing has like a, where is it? It has a side with a groove in it, and then the other side is flat. It's smooth. And the groove side was facing out. So that's how I'm going to reinstall it, with the groove side facing out. And the only thing that's left is another one of, remember we took this rubber seal piece out? Where is it? This guy? There's another one of these rubber ones in there. So let me just, that was with the screwdriver, I mean the drywall screw, and I can see it down in there. So I'm going to put the screw in, make a little hole in it, and then just pull that one out. You just got to get a little leverage on it. Like that. I think that worked. Started to move. And there it is. Alright, so here I have laid out for you the parts that were removed at the top, and then in the same order the parts from the repair kit reseal kit that will go in place of the old ones. So you can see the kit has the exact same parts. They all pretty much look the same. I also have this boot kit. Show you that. This this boot that goes over the cylinder, and there's some redundant parts in there. It has two of these big rubber pieces. It has the nut. It has the two big steel washers, and it has like a spring clamp to hold the boot onto the cylinder. So the next video will put these parts back inside the cylinder. So thanks for watching, and come back. We'll be working on the Mustang.